All right, so I'm going to go over all of the strikes for the black belt level for Freedom Fighters Martial Arts. And we're going to start out, I'm going to do 2 angles on each strike. So we're going to start out with the jab. So, jab position, okay? Arm comes straight out, straight back, okay? And from this angle, straight out, straight back, okay? Other hand's always up when we're fighting, okay? Never drop it down here. That's a mistake, okay? So when it comes to the jab, the way that we teach it, you can jab to the body all you want. Don't jab to the head without gloves on because you will break your hand, okay? So when we jab in the street, it's heel palm jab, like that. Same strike, you're just striking right there, okay? Like that, okay? Our next strike is called a reverse punch. It comes from the rear leg. Boxers call it a cross. You're going to strike with your entire body, like this. You push off with your feet. It moves up your leg, goes to your hips transition, and you strike with your punch, okay? So here it goes. I'm going to go this direction, okay? You need to be able to do all of these strikes on both hands. So the reverse on the left, you need to be able to do each strike on both hands. I'm going to demonstrate most of these just with one side for the sake of time and the length of the video, but you need to be able to do everything on both sides. Okay? Our next one's called a front punch. So we start in this stance, we're going to step straight forward, punch to the head. Again, with gloves on. Take the gloves off, we take the exact same strike, step forward, heel palm to the head. Okay? Now we're going to show it this direction. So straight forward, heel palm, or punch with gloves on. Okay? Totally your choice. As long as you're in the dojo, when it comes to in the street, you must do it with a heel palm. Okay? Our next strike is called a phoenix strike. Now this one's very specific. Take your pointer finger like this and curl it down, and you put your thumb behind it. Okay? You may also do this with your middle finger. Okay? Put it like this. Now what you're going to do is, if you can grab an arm or something, you slam it in between their ribs. Okay? It really hurts. So the phoenix strike can be done with a lead hand or a rear hand. Okay? Use it in the ribs. That's probably the most effective place. You can do it anywhere along the rib cage. It's a great, great strike. Okay? You can also do it behind the jawline and strike up into the nerve points through here. It's just more difficult to pinpoint it. Okay? Our next strike is heel palm. Okay? We demonstrated that on the jabs. You can do it from heel palm jab. You can do it from a reverse punch position. So, okay? Either way, use your heel palm a lot. They're great. Tiger claw. Now, tiger claw is an old tradition. You see this, in some of the old kung fu movies. The way we use this is we come down with a downward heel palm to the bridge of the nose, and then we claw down their face. So strike, bang. It can be done from a front or rear hand position. Strike, bang, okay? Boom, boom, okay? Want to make sure you're doing it striking first and then clawing, because clawing just ticks people off, okay? So the next one we do is an open hand slap, okay? You can come from clear out here and use your arm as a baseball bat. If you do that, you need to do a distraction first. Make them blink. Put your hands out there. You go, pop! Bang. And you slap really hard. Now, you can also do it inside here and throw it straight out. Okay? That's an open hand slap. Now, back fist. From a lead hand position, let me show you a little bit more about the open hand slap. So, this direction, okay? You don't want to get too wide because it's really easy to stop. So again, you want to do some sort of distraction to throw that slap if you want to do full circle type of a slap. Okay? From a back fist position, we're going to take and strike with the back part of our fist. So from a forward position, boom, okay? It's almost like a backhand in a tennis strike when you're striking a tennis ball, okay? You're striking with the back part of your fist like this. It can be done from forward or reverse position, okay? So here's the back fist, okay? Our next one is a vertical back fist, which comes right down on the bridge of the nose. So we're going to step into it, bang, okay? So we're here, can step through, we can do forward, reverse positions. It does not matter. Any of these techniques can be done from forward, reverse positions, modified positions. So keep that in mind. So vertical back fist, stepping vertical back fist. Okay? Your next technique is called your spinning back fist. So if I start out with a right guard, I'm going to be striking with my left hand. I'm going to step behind like this, turn, and strike. Okay? Now watch the way that my head moves. Okay? I'm going to step behind, look, turn, strike. That's your spinning back fist. Okay? Now, your next section is a back hand. It's very similar to the back fist. Okay? So let me show you the spinning back fist from this direction real quick. Boom. Okay, just like that. Your back hand is very similar. You're just going to open up your strike. So it's here, from a forward position here. Okay? So backhand, backhand. Okay? So that's your backhand. You also have your spinning backhand, which is the exact same thing. Step behind, turn and look, strike. Step behind, turn and look, strike. Always look. Any spinning technique, you need to look before you throw your strike so you know it's on par. You know it's going to strike your target. Okay? So your very next strike, you're going to have a vertical fist. Okay? So a vertical fist, your hand ends in this position. Okay? Right like this. Okay? It can be placed anywhere along the body. You can use it to the nose. Although I don't recommend any closed fist strikes to the head. The only one I do recommend that's good is a back fist. This one, if you get it just off kilter, you can still break your hand. So I'm a big fan of not breaking my hand. Okay? So your vertical fist is here. Boom. Okay? Now in the Chinese arts, they do what's called chain punches. Okay? And I'm going to start from a little bit more backward position. So I'm going to start back here. Okay? And chain punches, what I'm doing is I'm striking out and stepping forward. And I'm doing 2 to 3 chain punches per step. My hands are a lot faster than my feet. Okay? So it's almost like your hands are on a train, okay? Just going out and back, out and back, out and back, out and back, out and back. Okay? A lot of people want to like extend their shoulders. It takes too much time. Okay? Okay? I'll show you from here to there. Okay? We're just stepping through. And what this does, it takes your opponent off of their center of gravity. Okay? Next one is called a hammer fist. Okay? We have a low hammer fist. Okay? Comes through this direction. It's a strike to the groin. Okay? From here. Okay? You also have a downward hammer fist. Okay? You have spinning hammer fist, which we put it into a side position like this. And we spin. Boom. Boom. Okay? So those are your hammer fists. You can use those in a lot of different situations. Pulling them down, strike them in the kidneys, things like that. Next one is called the dragon strike. Dragon, take your hand in vertical position like this. You're going to curl your fingers down and tighten that up. Strike to the bridge of the nose. Okay? Also works great for blocking combinations, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Okay? So your dragon strike is boom, boom. Okay? Shoot from this angle. Okay? Those are your dragon strikes. Your web strike, or web hand as we like to call it, okay? You open up your hand like this. Now in Chin Nong Kung Fu, they teach this is called a snake mouth, okay? We call it a web hand strike, okay? You're striking with the web of your hand towards the throat, okay? Okay, that's a web hand strike. Then you have what's called monkey knuckles, okay? Looks very much like the dragon strike. You're going to curl down like this, okay? So for now, you're going to strike towards the throat with your hand in a horizontal position, okay? So, okay? Hand comes out like this, strike, strike. So that's monkey knuckles, okay? So strike to the throat. Be very careful with that one. Life or death situations only. You strike someone to the throat, you can kill them, okay? Next one, I'm teaching you for just the sake of a traditional strike. I don't really like them. However, they do have their applications in throws, and we'll talk about that on another video. But this is called a spear hand strike. You can come like this. It's just like monkey knuckles, but straight fingers. If you have not conditioned your fingers towards this, You do a lot of damage to your hand if you strike the chin instead of the throat. Again, that's why we like the monkey knuckle position. So, spear hand, okay, you can also come through here, and that's a traditional spear hand. What that was designed to do, you know what, I'll just describe it, is you put it on the side of your opponent's rib cage, you spin and throw your opponent to the ground. So it's actually not actually a strike, it was a throw, okay? So that's your spear hand. Now from eye gouges, you have a couple of different styles. Number one, you have a thumb eye gouge. Okay, and what you do is you insert your thumb right inside the tear ducts, as deep as they go, all the way up to the knuckles. Okay, so thumbs go into the tear ducts, and then you hook your thumbs out like this, and pop the eyeballs out. So insert, hook. You can also go in the other direction. It's just more awkward to pull the eyeballs out, but you insert on the opposite side of the eye. Never go straight down on the eye. It'll cause pressure, but it won't pull things out. Okay, so there's that one. You also have the split hand. If you look at the hand like this, and again, this is one of those straight hand techniques that if you haven't practiced and strengthen up your hands with, don't do it. I don't recommend strengthening up the hands because you'll have arthritis in later years. But you strike to the eyes like this, okay? Like that, okay? So that's the split hand eye gouge. And then you have what we call an eye whip, okay? This is where you keep your hands very loose, okay? Coming forward this direction, we whip out and come back. Whip out, come back. It's just, you're whipping that middle finger into their eye. It's just a temporary distraction so you can deploy one of your harder strikes. Okay, so that's an eye whip. Okay? You have your hook strikes, okay? So, number one, you have your lead hand hook, okay? Now, this can come into the body, which I really like, okay? And I like to come into it a little bit. Okay, so that's a hook, okay, a lead hand hook. You have your rear hand hooks like this, come into the body. You can use that to the head. Again, if you've got gloves on and you're in a safe position, great strike. If you don't have gloves on, you do what's called a hooking heel palm, okay? So you're going to come out here, boom, boom. So all of the techniques can be done open or closed hand like that if you need them, okay? So that's a hooking heel palm, okay? So on the hook, you have lead hand hook, rear hand hook, you have the lead body hook, rear body hook, hooking heel palm, lead and rear, okay? Then you have uppercuts. You have what's called a front uppercut, so it's a lead hand uppercut to the body. Now, a lot of people make the mistake here, okay, of just using their arm like this. So they do this. That is not an uppercut, that is an upper arm, and it doesn't work with any force. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spring load my legs and come into their body, okay? Whether it comes from the lead hand position, boom, or rear hand position, you get a lot more force. Essentially, you're jumping at your opponent with your most powerful muscles in your body, okay? So, okay, see the difference between arm versus, get a lot more strike force, okay? So that's your uppercuts. This one's just for fun. It's called a spinning uppercut, okay? If you had an attacker coming in a weird direction, you could spin out and block, uppercut, okay? So again, you're going to step behind, lock, and come up into it, okay? So that's a spinning uppercut. Then you have one of my favorites, okay? You get into knife hands. This comes from your ear on the same side of your body. You're striking across like you're serving a plate of something. Okay? Those are knife hands. They strike to the neck, carotid artery, and vagal nerve. They're devastating. Okay? They really hurt. You can knock people out with those. And their cousin is the ridge hand. Okay? This is a standard ridge hand. You make your hand in the form of a ridge. You should come out like this, strike in the same positions. Okay? Same targets on the body. You can do these to the diaphragms, thing like that. Had my oldest son strike me to the diaphragm with a ridge hand to talk about how to strike with your hips. Took my breath away, even though I was prepared. So, okay, ridge hand. You can do a front or rear position. I prefer front. You can get a little bit more done there. Okay. So then you have a traditional ridge hand, which is very different This is tradition, comes out through here, okay? Okay? And I'll show you a more advanced traditional ridge hand. So, come out through here and around. Again, something to be good with a distraction, so they've changed their body position and ridge hand, okay? The more advanced level is more like a punch. You're coming straight out and then hooking at the last second into the side of their neck. So that's your traditional ridge hand. And then you have spinning ridge hands. You can do like that. Can't fathom a reason why you'd want to do a spinning traditional ridge hand, but you can play with it if you'd like. Okay? Elbow strikes. They're one of the most devastating strikes in martial arts. They cause a lot of damage. Okay? You have your crossing elbow strike, which comes across your body. This is a lead crossing elbow, rear crossing elbow. Okay? Again here, lead crossing elbow, rear crossing elbow. So those are crossing elbow strikes. Come great across the face. Okay? Those are fantastic strikes. Now you have upward elbow strikes. I'll show you proper hand position here. As your hand comes up, you want to put your other hand in L position to defend your face. Okay? So if they come across with a hook strike or reverse punch or something, your hand's there to move and parry across. So upward elbow strikes, again, move with your legs, okay? So, boom, boom. Okay, very similar to an uppercut in the leg position, okay? Upward elbow strikes, okay? Now your next elbow strike is a downward elbow strike, which is the opposite. Your legs are going to move in the opposite direction. I like the lead downward elbow strikes, boom. So this would work good if you grab somebody and pull them down, bent over like this, and strike them with an elbow strike, and you can get rid of them there. So, downward elbow strike. You want to drop with your body. Okay, so there's your downward elbow strikes. You have a rear elbow strike. Somebody goes to grab around your midsection, for example. Strike straight back. Like that. Okay, that's your rear elbow strike. And then you have your spinning elbow strikes, which same concept. You're going to look here, turn your head, and I like to cover my hand through here and push. Bang. Bang. Okay? Show you a couple at full speed. Okay, you're striking very, very hard. Okay? See, those are most of your elbow strikes. One that we missed that's very crucial is called a hanging elbow strike. Works great after strike to the groin with that low hammer fist. Hanging elbow strike. So they bend over, face comes down, bang, right up under the chin. Okay, so from this position, low hammer fist, hanging elbow strike. So it comes just in this position. Okay? And never drop your hand. Again, always keep your hand up to defend. Okay? So you have on your elbows, you have crossing elbows, upward elbows, downward elbows, rear elbow, hanging elbow, and your spinning elbow strikes. Okay? Your next set is called rolling hands. This one is very complicated. It'll take you a little bit of time to do. Basically what you're doing, and I'll do it from several angles, okay? You're doing an inverted traditional ridge hand and you're flowing back through into a backhand, like this. Okay? And as you're doing that, you're stepping through, okay? Coming through here. Now, when I do this, it's not enough just to come across through here, and you want to do it very quickly, by the way. You want to come across, maybe do a open hand strike to the stomach, and then come back up to the face. You want to vary your targets with this, and this is the power of it. Most of the people I've ever done this technique to, when you start and come head on, and you just, this is what they do. They turn their back to you, okay? Opens up a lot of opportunities for strikes, for kicks, for grappling, whatever you want to do. But it's a fluidic movement that doesn't look like the traditional boxing they've seen in the movies, okay? It gives you a very fluidic movement that comes from weird angles, and you strike very hard after you've disoriented them. So initially they're not very hard strikes, but they are strikes that will disorient in a hurry. Okay? So those are your rolling hands. Slap, trap, and bang. Okay? Now for this specific strike, you've got somebody in their guard here. Now when they're in their guard, you need to be in the opposite guard. So if you both had belts on, your belts would be facing the same direction. Okay? And what you're going to do is you step on their foot. At the same time, you slap their hand down and you grab it. Bang. So we step in. Forward position. Step in. Slap, trap, bang. Like that. Okay? So you're essentially taking their lead hand and feeding it to your rear hand to grab and striking them with your lead hand. Lead hand to rear hand, strike. Okay? That's slap, trap, and bang. The 1-inch punch is your last hand technique, outside of blocks, obviously. What you're doing, you start out from this position. I'm going to go against the wall to kind of show you this. You start out from this position, and you're transitioning all of your power through your hips, starting from your foot. So up your leg, bang. So this works very well if you get in close and you just have no punching room. Just put your hand close to their body and go bang. And the key to this one is in the extension. Okay? It's not a very strike technique. It doesn't bounce off of their bodies like a punch would and throw them across the room that way. It's more of an extension, so that's why you're using your whole body to throw into that 1-inch punch. That one will take you some time. If you can develop it on your own, I'd be very impressed, but you probably need someone to teach you and show you the micro movements and how to perfect them on your own. Okay? So, the 1-inch punch. We're here. Their body is very close to us. They're striking very, very hard. You can do it from a front hand or a rear hand. Okay? So that's your 1-inch punch. Now, in each of your strikes, it's very important that you breathe. You need to breathe every time you strike in micro breaths. If you don't, you will hyperventilate and you're going to pass out or fall down and start breathing in funny ways, and then you're going to get beat up. Okay? So that's the end of the strike sections. Perfect each of those. It's going to take you some major time to do that if you haven't had experience. And if you have any questions, feel free to email us or send us a text message.